your plane, land your plane, land your plane, land your plane.
Welcome. Thank you for boarding with Land Your Plane podcast. You are on flight 53. Flight family, welcome back. We're here with another one. You already know what it is. First time flyers. If you're here for the first time checking me out, I appreciate it. Stay for a little bit. Relax. You know what to do. If you like it, you might as well like it, share it, subscribe. Talk about first time flyers. We got a new one. I'm gonna let my flight attendants introduce yourselves.
Hi there, my name is Raina. I have a podcast called Be Fucking For Real with Raina. And I do a little bit of everything. I do stuff about relationships, friendships, family situationships, anything you can think about. So that's a little bit about me.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Reese. No. I'm Reese.
Hey, I'm LaShonda, ready for takeoff.
It's your boy Money Bag Extraordinaire. Put the money back so extraordinaire, aka Gemini, aka Let's Get It.
I'm 34 and a half, and your favorite cousin from my auntie and uncle you ain't even know you had. And I'm ready to take this flight and another night. Let's go.
Welcome to all of y'all. Welcome. How y'all feeling out there? Y'all all right?
We good.
Woke up to that.
Bless.
Raina was about to jump out the window already. What you got for us?
What's the question?
Go ahead, Raina. Jump out. Pop out.
All right. So my question is, do you think that in a relationship or in your relationship that you have to agree on everything? You guys have to like the same things, and do you have to agree on the same thing?
Good question. We'll start with Reese Mula. Hey.
I'm sorry, I was working, so I didn't hear the question.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So the question was, in a relationship, do you feel like for it to be a good relationship or a quote unquote non-toxic relationship that it has to be that you all have to agree on the same things or like the same things?
I would say no. Because I feel like that means that you're not going to be yourself. And the best of a relationship was each person can be themselves and express what their likes and dislikes are and their wants and needs. I feel like if you're too similar, I think express what their likes and dislikes are. What's that?
My bad.
I think that if they're too similar and you like just kind of piggyback off of everything that the other person does just so that you cannot have those disagreements or those hard conversations or whatsoever, I think that ultimately it's going to cause some conflict down the road at some point in time because, again, you're not being your authentic self. I can like chocolate milk and he can like strawberry milk. That doesn't mean we have to argue over what milk is better. So I think that you being yourself is the most important thing. Be who you are, be true to yourself. And if that person is the person for you, you're going to accept that person with all their flaws, likes, dislikes, not likes. And you figure out how to make it work. Some people are just not meant to be together, and that's going to be evident but I don't think that you have to enjoy the same things in order for it not to be toxic. You can enjoy different things. I might like to walk on the beach with my shoes off, and he might be like, no, that's nasty, and wear flip-flops or something. It doesn't mean that you have to battle over that. And I think a lot of times we get lost in our partner and what they like, and then we try and follow that, and then you lose who you are. And if you can't truly love yourself for you, then you can't truly love that person for them. And I'm gonna land with that.
Smooth landing, LaShonda.
Hi. Yeah, I totally agree with what Reese's saying. I think that I definitely think it's okay to disagree. I think it adds a different flavor in the relationship if we like different things because you can expose each other to different things. You might have different interests. You might try each other's different interests, and then you might feel like, yeah, no, I don't really like that. But I think for me, I think it's easier if you agree on some core values and some relationship structures. If you agree on those kind of things, your commitment, your core values, then you can go anywhere you want to go with it, in the relationship because you guys are giving yourself the freedom to be who you are. And I think that's the most important thing is like you're headed in similar directions in the relationship and you have some core basis and core values that you both believe in, then you can make everything up as you go along because you don't know what the future is going to hold. So I think there has to be some kind of foundation. And I would say as long as that foundation you both are good with, then the other stuff, it just adds flavor to the relationship. I don't think it detracts in any way from the relationship. I think it makes it more interesting for both people because you bring something different to the table that you can share with your partner. And I'll land with that.
Excellent. The dirt.
Yeah. Oh, the question, yeah. So I think you have to agree on everything. I think you don't have to agree on everything, but I think how you disagree is important. I think that if your disagreements are just like almost like I like bowling and you like laser tag, that's cool, but are we now arguing over it? I think that's what it's going to say is toxic. I think having different desires and wants and purposes, those are all cool. But as if you're not able to accept the person that y'all have different, and you're now trying to force this person to eat crunchy peanut butter instead of smooth peanut butter because you like crunchy peanut butter. So I think that's to me what would label it toxic. No, I don't think the difference themselves is what makes it toxic. I think it's an inability to be accepting of that differentness. You like to go clubbing. Now I want to argue with you every time you go to the club because I'm an introvert or whatever. Or like I do comedy. If somebody, if my partner didn't like comedy, which she does, she doesn't hate it. But if she didn't like comedy, I wouldn't initially think that's a strike against her. But if she argued with me every time I was trying to write a joke, hell yeah. You know what I mean? That's what would make it toxic. I think it's the response of the differences that to me would say, oh yeah, that's a toxic situation. And I'll land with that.
Jam.
There's really not much more to add to that. It has to have an equal playing field. You feel me? Like I'm piggybacking off everybody. You know what I mean? It's not too much to add to this. I land.
Respectfully. Question is, can you disagree and still work it out or be together or something like that?
So I do think that you can disagree and still work it out. Um, and it actually kind of ties into the question that I had. Because like for example, my husband, he likes anime and he wants to go to Comic-Con. Me, I'm not an anime person. So and it's not like he just wants me to go to Comic-Con and just, be there as a support. No, you want me to dress up and you want me to do that and all that. For me, it's it's not my thing. Like I'll go and support you. I'll absolutely go and I'll go with you. We'll look at stuff, whatever the case is. But I just don't personally like to dress up and do all that because that's just not my thing. And I think that was a conversation me and my husband kept, I I could say arguing about, but it wasn't really an argument, more like a disagreement. And I like I said, I don't think that you have to agree on everything. I I think sometimes to keep the peace, you have to agree to disagree. I'm serious. Sometimes to keep your to even if it's not for the peace of both of you, or even if it's just the peace for you. Sometimes it's okay to just be like, you know what, you got it. It's cool, and I'll learn.
I think there's healthy disagreements. However, it's toxic when it becomes continuous. And couples, what you eat don't make me shit. So you don't have to totally be in ordinance or in alignment with your partner as far as everything, as far as compatibility. They say opposites attract. And there's a lot of couples I've heard, a lot of couples that, you feel me? Oh, we clicked on the first thing. There's a lot of couples said, I would have never married a person like this. You feel me? So we hear both of those, the good and the bad of those stories. However, can you disagree and still have a healthy relationship? Of course. As long as y'all grown and y'all know how to disagree. Y'all know y'all been through, I think it's crisis moments that don't allow us to really, you feel me, take advantage of what we have. They say you don't recognize a thing until you lose it, or something like that. So it's those, I think it's crisis moments will let us recognize at that moment that whatever we thought was a disagreement or frivol at that time was really nothing compared to something major like an illness that you don't even have to be obligated, or like I think on a prior episode, I think my aunt said it, but she said sometimes that would be because of obligation. You feel like it would be fucked up. Without that feeling, I think that sometimes these illnesses will wake a person up. Won't take life for granted, I guess. That's my take on it. Did you have another question for us? You got something else for us? Can you hear me? Can
She
everybody
looks
else hear me?
frozen. I can hear you. Yeah, she looks frozen. She's really good at being a stuck person.
Mine. Well, you
Yeah.
frozen, love. You have to probably back out, and we'll let you right back in, or remove her. See if she come right back.
Okay.
Please.
She's back.
She's right there.
She's
She's right
moved.
there.
You back?
She's right there.
You good? You can hear us? You back? No lag? No lag. You
I
back?
think she's still kind of lagging.
She looks like she's moving.
Who that just popped in? Chef Tone? Chef Tone,
Chef
what up?
Tone.
Yo,
What
What's
up,
good,
family?
brother?
How you?
I'm eating and everything. What's good?
Copy, cool. Raina, you good? You can hear us?
No, you're gonna have to get her out of here. If you can come
Yeah,
right
till
back
you
in.
come back, till you come back. Excuse the technical difficulties. We still got a little turbulence. Reese Muller, you got something for me? What's that?
Yeah, so my question today is going to be, how do you know when you have truly forgiven someone rather than burying the resentment?
Question, good question. We start with LaShonda.
Well, I think the first thing is if you are around the person or you're looking at the person and you don't think about the thing they did wrong. So, because if you're still looking at them and you're still remembering the thing they did wrong, I don't think you've fully forgiven them. I think you're still in the moment of what they did to you and kind of stuck there. I think when you can tell the story of what happened without being so emotionally driven about the problem, or that they did this wrong and they did that wrong and they hurt me and you're all in that emotion, I think you have not fully forgiven that person, because you're still in that hurt emotion. And I think that's a telltale sign. If you're still feeling hurt by what someone did, then I don't think you've fully forgiven them. You're still holding on to some piece of the hurt that you went through or you experienced from that situation. But I know for me, like when I've forgiven someone, um, I don't feel any kind of what we would call negative emotion toward them about that situation. I know when that's true forgiveness, it's when I can fully laugh with them, when I can fully be with them, um, and I'm not hesitating or pushing back or being cautious about what they did in the past. Then I realize then that's true forgiveness for me. It's like I'm just showing up like quote unquote they didn't do anything wrong. That's when I've forgiven them. But if I'm constantly, even if they do the mistake, let's say again, and I bring up the past, then I feel like that's not forgiving them. Um, we kind of have a rule though, about fair fighting that you don't bring up old incidents and new discussions. That's one of the rules that we have. Because you could be bringing that up forever and ever and keeping a tally on a person. And I don't believe in that either. That you should be having a tally on a person and what they did wrong. So I think true forgiveness is able to, not have those negative emotions, but also even an understanding of why you're so upset. Because if you're still telling the story like they did this wrong, you're probably not in the forgiveness mode. You're probably still in the midst of that story and
Yeah,
still in the midst of that hurt.
say, LaShawn, I don't mean to cut you off, man. About how long does this take to get over the situation? Because you women hold on to a lot of shit for a very long time, and I just need to know how long do I have to wait before you get over it so I can move the fuck on.
Good question.
Yeah.
That's a very good question, and I think it really depends on what type of woman are you picking. Are you picking a woman who's used to doing work on herself? Or are you picking a woman who's always pointing the finger and telling you it's somebody else's fault? Because if you're picking a woman who's always blaming somebody else about different situations in her life, oh, she gonna carry that maybe to the grave. But if you're picking a woman who's used to processing things, letting things go, if she talks about her girlfriends, different things like that, and she's like, oh, yeah, that's fine, and she's not holding on to that, then she might process quickly. But if you have somebody in your life who they talking about something that happened years ago and they still telling you with that kind of negative energy and all that, that's not a processing person. So they're going to keep holding on to that. They're used to holding on to their hurt. So, for me, I'm a person that's like, I like to go through it and I like to get it off the plate because I know in a relationship, life keeps life in. So I can't keep holding on to this because 5 days from now, there might be something totally new that comes up in life. And I don't like to be in pain. That's the other thing. Some people are very comfortable in pain. They are very comfortable living in pain. They just accept it as that's just the way life is. And you have control over that, whether you act that way.
Right. You know what? And I respect all of that. Do you accept honesty, or do you feel like you need to attack the person for being honest?
Ooh,
Because a
no.
lot of women, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I tell you something. Why the fuck do I hear extra shit?
Because they're being defensive, right?
No. I literally hear the background. There's extra shit going in the background.
Mm.
You got something playing in the background. Just mute up if you're not talking, please. If you
Yeah, I
want that
like your
type of
new mic,
background music, talk.
Delanuche. That's definitely futuristic. Good shit, good shit. But back to it. Yeah, for sure. Do you accept honesty, true honesty, and don't backlash and none of that bullshit, or do you just say, nah, I just want to hear what the hell you got to say so you can stop lying to me, or what? Do you
Yeah,
accept the honesty
good question.
truthfully?
Good question. For me, And I have to be honest, like I have good and bad days. So on a good day, if we're really having a conversation and you say, "Hey, can we have a sit down conversation? I really need to talk to you." Then for me that lets me know one, okay, I need to be fully present and this is the person I care about, so I need to hear them. Not just listen, but hear them. Because a person who I love is coming to me and saying something's not right in their life and something's bothering them, right? So you've got to, if you really want to work it out, that's the way you're going to come. But if you're afraid and you're so wounded and you're so hurt, you're going to come off as defensive. Why? What do you want to talk to me about? What? What's this
Of
about?
course.
They come off all like very hostile already because they're afraid. And that's a whole bunch of fear talking. And so if a person's all in their fear, then what you're going to hear is the defensiveness. Well, yeah, you said this about me, but last time you did this, this, and this. Okay, that's not what we talk about. You know what I mean? They're going to throw stuff back at you and they're not necessarily ready for the truth. And sometimes you have to ask people, are you really ready to hear the truth? I mean, even the stuff that you might not like that's coming out my mouth. And sometimes people will be honest enough to tell you yes, and sometimes they'll be honest enough to tell you no, and sometimes they're gonna lie. It's real talk. They're just gonna lie, and it's because they're lying to themselves first. You
I
know,
agree. I
yeah,
agree.
they're lying to themselves.
I'm glad you said that. I'm
Hmm.
glad that because you women lie a lot. For
Hmm.
the simple fact that as soon as you ask me to tell you the truth, I'm punished. You know what? We need to clip this for all the ones that fucking keep saying, just tell me, just tell me.
Oh
I
yeah.
ain't gonna get mad. No, you're fucking lying. You're gonna get mad. I'm not getting no pussy tonight. I'm not getting nothing tonight. You gonna fuck around and fucking you gonna talk about all the old shit. Then you're mad at me for an additional fucking 3 to 4 fucking months. I didn't even know I added 3, 4 fucking months on one fucking conversation of being honest. Like, there's a lot of shit that's going on with you guys that y'all got to figure the fuck out before you start manipulating us. We seem to be the manipulators, but y'all really the master manipulators. And that's the shit that pisses me the fuck off because you're so good at it. And we
Right.
listen to you. Nah, babe, nah, babe.
We
I
are.
just tell me I ain't gonna get it. As soon as I fucking go in and tell you, I knew it. I was in your phone last week. I knew it. Then now I'm over here sitting in the fucking corner trying to figure out how the fuck to get out of this situation.
Yeah, and you got to know if you're with somebody who's trying to set you up. Just like you in the
All of them
streets.
are the same.
Oh no, no,
All of them.
no, 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 no. I don't set people up.
They're all setting us up.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
set
just
people
joking,
up.
but I'm not joking. But I am kind of
No,
joking,
I
but I'm
know what
still
you mean.
serious.
Yeah, I know
Well,
what you mean.
but
And
I'm
yeah,
more serious than not because I feel like you all are, but I don't want to make it that it's a community thing. But there's a lot of y'all. There's a big
I ain't saying
community of you manipulators. But go ahead.
no, I agree, and I think that women are testing, and that's dishonest. So I agree with you
Mm,
100%. If you're testing someone and you don't let them know you're testing them, you're being dishonest. You're being deceitful. So when you
right.
get what you get, like my little one says, you get what you get and you don't pitch a fit because you set yourself up for that crazy ass dynamic. Like I don't do that. That's a whole lot of drama. That's a whole lot of nonsense. Like I don't have time for all that. That takes too much energy
Too
to
much
play all those
energy.
kind of games. Like that's game playing. And those are women who aren't really ready to deal with stuff. They've got too much hurt, they've got too much fear. They're not really ready to be honest. They want love and they may want a relationship, but that doesn't mean you're ready for one. And I think that's the difference and I don't think a lot of times people know how to decipher that. How to get yourself ready for a relationship is way different than I want a relationship because just because you want one doesn't mean that you're capable of having a healthy relationship because the fact that you just mentioned that they're bringing up a whole bunch of old stuff says you ain't ready because I'm telling you if I brought up all your old stuff you'd be mad. Why can't you forgive me? Why can't you just let that go? Well then why are you bringing it up? Like every no one should be penalized for something they did eons ago. Nobody
No,
wants to be.
no, all honesty, I agree with you, and I really have the feelings to give a fuck. So honestly, I don't care if you forgive me or not. I'm probably gonna do whatever I want to do. But secondly, I wanted to say that if you can just look in the camera to those that are suffering out there right now and let them know Hey, you not healed, baby girl. When you're healed, you know you're healed. You understand what I'm saying? Because all that negativity and all that bullshit, you got to work on you.
Mhm.
Work on you before you jump your fucking raggedy ass into a relationship. And I hate to say raggedy ass, but that's what it becomes when you do shit like that. You fuck up. You don't even give the person a chance who did nothing to you to build with you because you're still hurting. Fix you before you jump into a next relationship. Fix who you are. The key to a very successful relationship is knowing the person knows their self, knows their ticks and things that make them feel a certain way. Know you before you jump into a relationship. If you knew you was crazy, if this motherfucker said boo or fucking slammed the door and you was gonna snap and fucking bug the fuck out, then you gotta let that be known. Let me know your triggers. Understand your triggers in life because those are things that are called traumatized. You're traumatized because they're triggers. You understand what I'm saying? Figure out who you are before you jump your ass into a relationship. Because a lot of people don't know their triggers and their trauma. At the end of the day, they don't know it's trauma. They just think, fuck it, I'll jump in the next one, it'll be all right. No, it ain't gonna be all right. Now I gotta deal with your bullshit. I did it for 9 years, and I hope she watching because 9 years I suffered. All right, 9 years I suffered with a person who was traumatized, and I hope she watching. My daughter, beautiful, I love her to death, but the her
If
ass
she's
is fucking
watching, I hope you will
good.
like, share, and subscribe at this point. But yeah,
And
let's
she
get
ain't
some other
gonna,
people
you know, good
answering.
damn well she ain't like sharing and subscribing. She hear this shit, it's over.
Let's get some other people answering. Raina, we're gonna go to you. Reese, what was the question? Oh, Lashana, did you finish landing? My bad.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I can land. That's fine.
Okay.
All
Raina,
right. So
jump out. But Reese, what was your question? So she know.
the question was, how do you know when you have truly forgiven someone rather than just burying the resentment?
Ooh, that's a question. I feel like I feel like when you know that you've truly forgiven somebody, it like we were saying before, the past shouldn't matter. The past things that you've gone through, though it's in the past. Those are things that have already happened. Those are discussions that have already been discussed. Because and you can't keep going back because that does nothing but make it feel like you don't trust your partner. And I know this from personal experience of having these conversations with my husband about um small situations being or things from the past being brought up. And for him, like I said, and I can attest to um kind of not having that trustworthy feeling with your spouse, simply because they keep bringing up that old nasty business. And you never want your spouse to feel like you don't trust them, because if you don't have trust, then what do you have? That's what a whole relationship should be based off of, is trust. Love, of course, absolutely, you should love who you're with, but 100% trust. Because there could have been a situation from the past that you have been holding on to, and your spouse didn't know that, and your spouse thinks, oh, this is, everything's good, we went past this, all this, and you're not past it, but he's past it or she's past it. And then now you're being combative with each other because he's done something that quote unquote triggered what that untrustworthy feeling that you had from the past. It almost, like you said before, it's a traumatizing event. It brings something up that will end up leading to a conflict that could have been resolved, that could have been even avoided. So I think that, um, for me, knowing that you are comfortable where you're at, your body and your mind will tell you if you're not comfortable. If you're not comfortable where you're at, you'll know, because then everything irritates you about this person. The way they eat, the way they sit, the way they look at you, the way they do anything with you, it will irritate you past everything. So when you start feeling that, Then you start needing to think to yourself, man, maybe I need to rethink this relationship. Maybe I need to sit down with my spouse and try and figure out, where's the disconnect? Why am I so angry? Why do I not want to be around you? What makes me feel this way when I'm around you? Why do I feel this way when I'm around you? And I feel like that's a main thing too, is communication. You have to be communicative with your person. It is essential, because if you're not communicating these things, again, you can, it's things that that one person might think is over, and then you might not be over that, and they would have no clue, because you haven't said anything. You haven't said anything. You haven't been open. You've just been showing them that they irritate you, and they're trying to figure out why. That's it. So I'll end with that.
You know what?
Respectful,
I'm so
respectful.
glad that you landed with that. I just wanted to say one more thing. Okay.
Okay, so
Um, a lot of things that we ask for are very simple as guys. And I hate to come straightforward with it, but this is how I talk. I don't mind getting my dick sucked on a regular. And the reality is that that solves a lot of problems. A woman getting pleasure, it solves a lot of problems. Understanding your person, meaning their ticks and not, when they're feeling, when they're having their period, whatever. Just being emotionally there, supporting them on their days that they're down will help out a lot. Understanding your partner. A lot of us sometimes oversee certain things. Like, okay, she's not feeling like this. Her period came. Boom, she's gonna be in this mode. That's the time to kind of boost her up, right? Doesn't mean for you to fight against it. Understand the person's trying. You know what I mean? They're trying to fucking work with you. Understand that, hey, I don't understand what's going on with you, but I do know that I can help you in this method. You know what I mean? But for the guys, I'm telling you right now, we want our dick sucked. I'm gonna tell you, the minute you stop doing that, or the minute where I'm already putting my goggles on and looking very far and as far as possible, the first one I see that looks back at me in my fucking goggles is the one I'm gonna walk up to and see what the fuck she about. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Be mindful. You know what I mean? Because when y'all got them horse eyes, them horse goggles, and there's blinders on them left and right, and you ain't seeing what the fuck we doing, you ain't paying attention to us. You don't know we looking. So yeah, just be mindful, man. You know what I mean? Know each other, please each other, and talk. Conversation is everything. Communication is everything. I don't care what nobody says. You can the best thing to solve a problem is communication. It sounds so simple, but it's not. It's the hardest thing to do, because sometimes people just don't want to keep fucking talking about what I've been telling you for fucking 3 years. Like, why aren't you doing it? Like, just do it. Like, what is your problem? Why are you so combative against me? So yeah, that right there is annoying. But number one, just suck my dick and I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm gonna land with that.
respectfully, respectfully. Did
Yeah.
there
Yeah. How do you know when you forgave somebody?
not burying resentment, right?
Without burying resentment. I think that the best way to know if you forgave somebody if you actually tried to in the first place. I think that it's easy to address the issue, but it's the addressing of the issue, I think a lot of times becomes its own issue within itself. So I feel like a lot of times you feel like you're not forgiving a person of what happened. However, you might not be forgiving them from the issue that came from the addressing because of the things that are, almost like what Chef Tom was talking about before too, is like the way the questions are lined up or whatever. It's like just get to the issue. And I think that to know if you're forgiving the person, I think it would be your thought pattern. Like other people were saying, is that your thought pattern? Is that what you're always thinking about? Are you thinking about other things? Like when they go to get Kool-Aid, are you thinking, oh yeah, I know they up there they ain't getting Kool-Aid, they texting that bitch, or they texting that nigga or whatever. I think that it's all about your thought patterns of what are you thinking. And I think that if you're having issues with forgiving somebody, I think is, are you remembering they're human? Right. Um, and I think that, yeah, I think that forgiveness is a thing that is a grace that is given, but I think it's an acknowledgement of the failure that we ourselves experience and have done. So I think if you're not bringing it up, though, I think that's, if you can't help but bring it up, no matter what the fuck y'all arguing about, y'all talking about some other shit, and you bringing that up, it ain't got nothing to do with it. It's like, if you leave your shoes out the shoe area because you was too busy talking to that bitch, it's like, what? What are my shoes? What is that? What are the connectors? So if you can't have another disagreement without going back to that, I think that would be the best way to know whether you forgave somebody. If every disagreement you have is either surrounding that or goes back to that thing, then it's obviously something you haven't got over. And I'll land with that.
Respectfully. Jem, you ain't jump out, right? You ain't pop out.
I think that's it. I think it's a you problem. I'm not gonna go into it. Everybody said what they said. I mean, I think back to some people, but to do that, that's a you problem. Because most likely, like my cousin Tone said, most likely you moved on from it. You want to hold that against me? That's the you problem. You got that situation. It's clear. I apologize, or I did something with a nice gesture to cover up or say sorry to the problem. I delivered. I apologize. That's it. Bottom line. So if you keep holding it on and bringing it up, that's a you problem. I still fuck with you, but that's a you problem. That's basically what I got. So I mean,
You know what? I just want to say one more thing. Um, yeah, I feel like what Jem said, I still fuck with you. Like, that was my problem. Like, I should have let the bitch go. No disrespect, don't mean to call her a bitch, but that's what it is. But
Think you
reality is
do?
that I should have let her go. You feel me? Like, there was no real reason for me to still fuck with you when you're gonna continue to keep doing the same stupid shit. I should have just let you go, but because we're young and dumb and we don't understand, and our emotions, we do wear on our sleep. Because when you're younger, you emotionally. As you get older, I'm gonna tell you right now, this panel here, I know for a fact niggas got the feelings to give a fuck, and I mean, especially talking to my two brothers up there, I know these niggas. We have the feelings to give a fuck. If it ain't going this way, it's fuck you. Clearly, because nobody has time for the argument. Life is too fucking short. Like, what are we really talking about? Like, we should be building. At this point, we building. If we still here stagnant because you can't get your fucking mind right, yeah, that's you right, Jem. It is a you problem, and it's a my problem too. And then I'll fix right away. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I feel like it was our fault for keep on holding on. We're just at fault for enabling the bullshit. You don't let the person go because you keep fucking staying around and making them think that it's all right. It's not all right. Everything that you're fucking doing obviously ain't all right. The next we might go a week and everything is good, but the next week might be terrible. Now we're arguing again. And you know what I'm doing? I'm calling up the side piece because she don't argue with me at all. She's never argued with me a day ever in life. She's always been supportive. She's always been on my team, and that's who I'm calling. Yes, right away, and I'm gonna land with that.
Respectfully. How do you know without burying resentment? I'm not gonna say I don't think y'all touched on it. I think y'all somewhat said it. However, I think is when it's not revisit the same instinct. It doesn't have to be like, all right, since he cheated, whenever you sense him or if he does since him cheating again, when you get those emotions, I'm talking about when you revisit something that had those same emotions and you don't react the same. And I think that's probably somewhat of of what y'all was saying a little, but I just didn't hear it that way, I guess. But I think it's like I said, is when you revisit a situation that you used to have, you had those emotions, and it's now when you revisit something similar, you don't have the same reaction. And I think that's when you're not bearing resentment because obviously you would have reacted different. It would have been something that would have uh, courted some more of your attention. You dig? The fact that you didn't give it the same attention or you went about a different way of it is to show that is really not on your mind. You feel me? It's something that is you feel me? Is literally not on your mind. Because if it was, then like you said, these conversations will come up, things from the past, certain mannerisms, certain things will be, we'll be getting said in these times. And I think, like I said, when you want to keep repeating myself, but when you don't revisit, I think that's the thing that shows that you're growing and you're not holding on. Who else has something for me? Dirk?
I
I
already
think
know that.
all the
A
women jumped
question, a
out.
question, yeah. A question. All right.
All the women popped out with their questions, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's get to it.
Does working and
Come on.
other things of modern life make women neglect femininity at a high level?
We start with Raina. Can you hear us? Are you still on the flight with us, love? Let's go to LaShonda then when she come back.
Okay. So you were saying does like work
Does
and go ahead.
does modern life make women lose the attention of femininity or what that means to be, you know what I mean?
Yep. That's a short answer, yes. Um, and I'm going to speak from the United States because I know other cultures do things a little different. Other countries do a little things a little bit differently. But here in the United States, absolutely 100%. Um, we have a culture of go, 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 do, do, do. That's masculine. That's masculine all day long. And when you ask a woman to go, go, go and do, 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 she's spending most of her time in masculinity. We say, set these goals, get it done, get a deadline. That is very masculine. And in our culture, we say that for everybody. We don't say that, oh, that's just the men or, they're the only ones doing it. We set that for everybody. And when there's not a time for a woman to be in flow, then you've just cut off her femininity. And I don't mean flow menstrual flow. I mean literally there's a flow where there's a time for her to be and just sit and receive. There's a time for her to release and let go. And when she doesn't have that time, you have absolutely 1,000% cut off her femininity. And you have cut off her natural way of being. And our society doesn't allow for that. It doesn't honor that. It doesn't cherish that. It doesn't give her space for that. So like Chef Tony was saying, when, a woman's full and she's always coming at you and she's always defensive and she's always in fight mode because she didn't learn how to let go, because she didn't learn how to really release, because why? Her parents probably didn't teach her that. Her mom didn't teach her that. All of that stuff. Since we've been in this country, especially Black women, since we've been in this country, we've been out of balance. We have definitely been out of balance because we came in this country working, right? We came in this country working from day sun up to sundown. We came in this country slaving. So we came in here out of balance. So for us to have like the emotional things that we go through, the intensity of our emotions, all of that, we don't have time for that release. We don't have time to discern what those emotions are. Are they our emotions? Are they our children's emotions? Are they our spouse's emotions, our partner's emotions? Because we are told to hit it and grind it out, and you got to make an income, and you got to build this family, and you got to do all this stuff. There isn't the space for her to be at feminine. There isn't the space. The only time we get to be feminine is when I'm time to take you out and for you to get dressed, for we're going out on a date. Really? You think that's the essence of femininity? You think that's where it really comes from? That's not where it begins. That's absolutely positively not where it begins. And if she doesn't have space to be creative in her way and time to be, then you have absolutely made her a masculine being. You have actually put her in so out of balance. Why is it harder for women to reproduce in this country than other countries, in third world countries? Because we're out of balance. Even certain states, if you look at it, it's harder for women to get pregnant in certain states than other states because we are so out of balance. Our everything is out of balance. Other countries don't even have a word for PMS, but in this country, it's a norm. It's because we're out of balance. It's not normal to have PMS. PMS is a signal that you're out of balance, that something is not right. Even the way menopause happens in this country, hot flashes, all that stuff. Thank God, I've never had any of that. That's out of balance. That's out of balance. And women don't necessarily know how to get back in the balance. It's something that I actually teach. It's something I've been working on for the last several years, of having women in my space and teaching them the power of femininity. And it's not about control, it's not about dominance. It's about being, in essence, who they truly are, and figuring that out and feeling that out and embodying that in their body. Women don't know how to be sensual, how to be, all of that stuff. Yeah, sex, that I'm not even talking about that. That's easy. But sensuality, that's an art, that's a skill. And every woman is different with that. But women don't know how to do that. They don't have time to do that. We don't have red tents anymore. We don't have so many things that put women back into their femininity that it's ridiculous. She gets to be a mother, right? That's about as feminine as we kind of let her be at times, and not even that in its fullest degree. We have to look at how we're setting things up. In my house, I was blessed and honored to be given the opportunity to be at home with my children. And I was a stay-at-home mom, and even though I was an entrepreneur at the time, I was a stay-at-home mom. I homeschooled my children. I was there for them. I got to be more in my femininity and realize how out of balance I was. Most of my friends back in the day, even now, are men. So I can hang with the boys all day. Like, not even a problem. I can hang with the boys all day. But I was so out of balance with my femininity and didn't understand it and didn't enjoy it. When you hear a woman say, "Oh, I don't get along with women," oh, she out of balance, way out of balance, out of pocket. How you gonna tell yourself you don't get along with yourself? How that sound? That sounds weird. But we
You
take it
know what?
like that's normal.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'm just been waiting to get this off my chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a you problem and a woman problem. Listen, they can be feminine all they want. The jobs that they choose is their decision. If you choose a motherfucking warehouse job and you gotta fucking put some pants and a goddamn some khakis and a motherfucking khaki shirt, yeah, you gonna be a little fucking non-feminine. No niggas gonna want to watch you walk around switching your ass with some khakis on. But if you had a skirt on and you're in the office and you're doing a job that you're sitting behind the office and taking, yeah, that is a more feminine type of job. The job that they choose is the job that's gonna put them in that femininity, as you say. And honestly, they can be feminine all they want. It's a woman's decision if they want to be feminine or not. Half the women and 90% of the women in this fucking world want to be men. They
That's
just
not
want to be
true.
fucking men.
That's
They
not
want to
true.
be, they feel like they want to wear the pants in the relationship, and that's just
No.
my opinion
Right. I
at the
got
end
you.
of the day. You feel me? Like
Mhm.
you honestly, it's no, oh, I took this, suggestion or whatever you said and I'm rocking with it. No. Everything's a combat back and forth. Like, nah, we should do it this way. Are you fucking? Well, you know what? Let's switch jobs then, bitch. Let's switch jobs because honestly, I'm rocking the wrong job right now. You know what? You go put them goddamn Timberlands on. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you can move a couple boulders. You feel me with your strong muscles, you feel me? Yeah, nah. It's a choice. It's a choice. They decide that they get with a nigga that's a bitch ass nigga, and that's where the femininity goes out the fucking door. Because now they gotta be a woman and a man at the same fucking time. So now they gotta be both. Now I gotta wear the pants for this nigga, and fucking I might be a woman next week, but this week I'm gonna rock with the pants on this week. That's a woman's decision, and where they want to feel like you got your rights. Yeah, you have your rights, but damn, don't go over the step in the boundaries of fucking looking down on a man trying to be a man.
So then, so let me I just have a question to ask. So when it comes to decisions, do you feel like a man is supposed to make every decision, or do you feel
No,
like
a woman can decide what we
no.
eat. She could decide what we eat, what's for dinner,
dang, that's it?
what soap to use for the dishes and the clothes.
Out of balance.
Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Out of balance.
Listen. He answered the question because that's how he wanted to answer it.
Right.
I'm gonna be let me answer the question.
Okay.
She has a voice. If my woman don't have a voice, I don't want to fuck
sing.
with her.
Your girl can sing. Your girl can sing.
You feel me? Like if she
can
just
sing?
shut the fuck up, nigga.
She can sing.
If she
Is
don't,
the mixtape coming out?
if she don't have a voice, mute this nigga. Delanooch. Mute him right now. If she don't have a voice, I don't want to fuck with her because I can't build with her. She's wasting my time. You know what I mean? She can still be feminine. She can still have a voice. She could be strong-minded. Doesn't mean she gotta be out of her femininity because she's strong-minded. No, not at all. We strong together. You feel me? She decided to go out there and put 3 Timberland boots on and go out there and want to be a man. That's on her. You feel me? I ain't trying to hear that shit. I don't want no chick in no boots any goddamn way. You feel me?
What if that's the only job she can
I don't
get?
even like women. I don't even like women in pants. That's my thing. I don't like them in pants. I don't know why you even got them on. They made clothes for y'all. So that's my point.
That's her voice. That's what she decided. You respect that. You love it.
And she decided, yeah, you're right. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, she decided to wear pants that day.
That was her voice. That was her voice.
Yeah, you're right.
I want to buy some pants.
But I have a question. So what if that's the only job she can get at that time? So is she not supposed to work?
Cause she want to go out to construction? Is why you
No, I'm saying,
that?
what if at that moment that's the only job she could get? Is she not supposed to work?
There's another job.
There's
another job. There's an office job. She didn't have to go out there and stomp with the big boys.
Not everybody qualifies for office jobs.
Not paying good enough. What if the office job is paying $3?
There's a pushback on this shit. You see the push? There's a lot of pushback. It's a lot of pushback, and this is crazy, bro.
They cut LaShonda off. Sorry, I apologize, cuz they just cut her off.
I'm only going from a point that I have worked in like flagging and construction in my life before.
And you know what? You sound like you did. And you sound like you had.
Don't you fucking start some shit, okay? But what I'm saying is,
that long. She worked there for like less than a month. She's like,
granted, I'm saying at that moment in time, that was the job that I could get as quick. We had just moved to another state, and that was the first job I could get when we moved to that state. So now you're saying that I'm a man or trying to be manly because I worked that job?
No,
it's how you act. It's how you act. It's how you act after that. You know what I mean?
No, don't come in the house.
I'm just saying, don't come in the house and punch me in my arm. Don't come in the house and punch me in my arm. What up, my guy? You feel me? Don't do that weird shit.
I'm not gonna punch you in the arm. I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Only thing I want to disagree with LaShonda that she said. I think that the blame of the loss of femininity on your partner is it lacks accountability. That's my opinion. I'm not saying you're. I'm just that's
No,
and that's it.
no, I'm not blaming it on the partner. I'm blaming it on the culture.
I,
And I
I,
mean and I
yeah, I
mean
get
the
that.
fact,
Yeah,
yeah, and I
All
mean the fact
right.
that if you grew up, think about this. I know as a black woman, and I've had many, circles with different types of women, but you think about you were told that you had to go out there and you had to get a good job and you had to make sure that you keep a good job. That was told to you. You were taught those things. You could be a teacher or a nurse or whatever the case is. The culture is still the same. The culture is still hustle. The culture is still, if you want to get ahead, you want to get better pay, you got to be the best. You got to hit the goals. You got to keep doing, doing, doing. So to me, it doesn't matter the job, whether it's construction or nursing or whatever the case is, it's still masculine energy. And I think the thing is, if you were never taught any different, and I'm not talking about your partner or whatever, but if you were never taught any different, you don't know how to be different. If you never saw your mother being feminine or your grandmother being feminine, you don't really know what that looks like. You don't really know what that is in an internal basis in your family, in your community. You don't necessarily know what that is. So I'm not blaming men for that piece at all. I'm blaming the fact of when we got here. Think about this. When we got here, yes, women had feminine jobs. My grandmother was a maid, right? We could be maids, we could be teachers for our own kind, and we might be able to be pseudo nurses. And those are considered feminine jobs. But the fact that my grandmother had to bust her butt on her hands and knees until she was 80 some years old, serving somebody else and working, when does she have a time to be feminine? Oh, because she's cooking and cleaning, she's feminine? That's not full femininity. And that's the problem. She still had to hustle and put food on the table to feed her children because my grandfather died at a young, when the kids were young. So she's out there hustling and doing her thing at a feminine job, but she still couldn't be feminine. She had to hold some weight. When you walk into corporate society, I've worked white collar jobs most of my life. When you walk into that white collar job, whether I have a skirt on or not, trust and believe you were still being masculine because the expectation is about the goal and is about the outcome and is about doing and about producing, which is not the feminine way, not in that way, not in that energy. So culturally, we have produced women who have attended have masculine ways because that's what our society says. Because that's what it's been put into you. That's what we've been trained to do. The other negative side is like, oh, you got to get a job and support yourself because a man won't do it. But still, it didn't matter whether there was a man or not. The fact that you're out there trying to support something and do it in that hustle and grind way is a masculine way. So if you were taught that, you were taught a masculine way how to be a female. Whether you had a skirt on and some makeup on and some heels on, it didn't matter. You were out there hustling and grinding like a man. I don't care what you look like. You were acting like a man and you had to produce on that job just like the men did. So there wasn't femininity in that. There wasn't space for that. You went from one job to a next. You went from the job at work and then you went to the job in the house. And then you went to sleep and you went and did that all over again. All over again. So can everybody else hear me?
Mhm.
Yeah, we
Yes.
hear you.
Because she said she could.
Respectfully, I was gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody
Okay.
got something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
I
how I
think it's
feel. So
just
yeah,
me because
no,
I
I
can't
wasn't
hear.
blaming
I
the
can hear
man for that.
everybody else
I
but
just blaming
her.
that's the cycle that she hadn't learned.
It
No,
goes like
I would say why I think he said there's no a lack of accountability. Give us like three examples previous of us getting here. You feel me? Of what you explained. What was
Mhm.
three qualities of femininity? As
Okay.
far as what you show in your circle, what you show your females and stuff like that. Previous
Absolutely.
of us getting here, what was the three qualities or examples of
One
femininity
big one.
before the Western world?
Got you. One big one, the red tent.
The
Absolutely love the
whoop.
red tent. Most women don't know what that is. Most people don't know what that is. But it was a time in the culture, right? Back in Africa, all over in Arabic tent, all over that time, even Jesus land, because you can go back and it's biblical. Um, that when women were in their cycle, there was a time and a place for rest. There was a time and a place for healing. There was a time and a place for release. There was a whole culture, if you were during that bleeding time, that you were taken care of, that you were nurtured, that had time to release, you had time to reflect. There are spiritual beliefs that when you were on your menstrual cycle and when you're going through that time, the veil between you and the spiritual world is thinner. So it's a time where you get spiritual downloads, where you are more in sync, you're more intuitive in that time frame. And so we're missing out on all of that spiritual download because we've got all this pain and all this, I got to still go to work, I got to still do, when that's the time when the veil is thin, where you release and get rid of all the family stuff, all the children stuff, all that stuff that you've been carrying, because women are a vessel, right? Look at our womb, we're a vessel. That you release all that so that you can carry and hold what you were supposed to hold, and that you can fill that up. So that's one thing, is like women's circles, period, are a big cultural thing. It's a space for us to be, it's a space for us to reconnect with ourselves and reconnect with our women communities. The other piece of that is to get to know how you flow. And I don't mean your menstrual cycle, but I mean, when is your peak time? When is the time where you're most alert, where you can get most things done? When is your downtime? Knowing that flow helps, like we were talking about, communicating that with your partner, knowing that and setting up your life as much as you can according to that, to your natural rhythm, your natural flow, learning how your intuition works. What does your intuition look like? How do you know you're knowing? Do you hear things? Do you feel things? How do you know that little download, that little quiet, still voice? Our society doesn't really get to that. They say, oh, yeah, meditate. But everybody's not a meditator. And that's not the only way to get there. And that's not the only way to connect with that. But women need space to get to know themselves. And that release thing is so huge. Like what you guys are talking about, where there's that give back and that kickback from women. It's because women don't have spaces where they can release and let go. Remember, there were a long time before women were even really allowed to be angry in this culture, right? Women had to be nice, sweet little girls. But we don't have space to release that crying, that moaning, that mourning. We don't understand the power in that for us. So that space and that time to release is so crucial. And what women will do is like, oh, I got to go to work. Oh, I got to take care of the kids. I got to take care of the family. Okay, I'll get to my emotions later. And by that time, they're asleep. So now they keep carrying it, and men wonder why they're so full and why they're so ornery and why they're so aggravated. It's because that cup is full and it's overflowing and they don't have space to release it. A vessel, only every cup can only hold but so much before it starts to overflow. When what you're dealing with is women who are in overflow mode and they don't even know what that is because nobody has told them. Nobody has made them aware of that. All they hear is that you're a nag, you're always angry, you're always kind of at me. No one realizes that this woman is really crying out because she's full and she doesn't know what to do and she doesn't know how to release. But we just keep blaming her and she's feeling all these kind of things and doesn't know what to do with it because she hasn't been taught and she hasn't been given the space. And we have to learn those things. We have to go back. What do they say? If you don't know your history, you're darned to repeat it. Well, other part of that is you're not taking the wisdom from your history. So you don't know how to really advance. That's how we got so out of balance, is because we didn't understand where to grow and where to thrive. We made women's femininity and emotions and all this other stuff be a burden and it's a problem. Hell to the no. It's a damn gift. It's divine. When it is used correctly, it is divine. It makes life beautiful. It makes the relationship beautiful. It helps support everyone in that relationship, especially the men. Especially the men. And we're not able to do that. We don't have space to do that anymore. And
That's why I
we got to stop
created.
blaming and figure out the problem. I'll land with that.
Yeah, I
Respectfully, that's
just
why I
was
created
wondering.
Land Your Plane, because this is the place to come You feel me? Give that feminine and that masculine perspective. We about to go to a quick commercial.
Hold
You
on,
here
hold on,
tuned
good brother.
in.
I know you gotta pay. I know you gotta pay some bills and shit. I don't want to interrupt you. You feel me?
Yes,
It's your
sir.
thing
Yes,
that
sir.
you
Top of
do.
that hour, you know, people gotta use the bathroom and all. Like, go ahead, pop out though. What you gonna say?
Yeah, I just want to say they do got space. There's enough space in the world to actually do one thing, and that one thing is this: if you woke up with a motherfucking problem in the morning, communication is everything. I'm not trying to hear none of that shit. Listen, you have an opportunity to open your mouth and communicate. You have an opportunity to talk. If you got with the person you got with them because y'all can communicate. If you got with the person because you realize later in life you can't communicate with them, then change your freaking perspective or whoever you're around so that you can be able to heal and be able to talk. That is 100% on you to be able to communicate. I'm not trying to hear none of that. At the end of the day, you communicate, we fix the problem. Babe, you stressed, I'm stressed. If you feeling some type of way, then I'm feeling some type of way. That's how my vibe works. My vibe works. If you're not vibing right, I'm not vibing. We got to figure it out together.
You
I'm willing
can't
to
both
make
be
sure
in
that,
pain. That ain't gonna work.
man, listen, one of us got to be the bigger person, and one of us got to have some smarts to be able to figure the problem out. Not both of us can't be dumb.
No, I agree. You both can't be dumb, but you can't figure this is the problem. This ain't a man problem. This is a woman problem. You can't figure this out for her and give her a step-by-step solution. That is not going to work because that's not the solution. She needs a feminine solution to this particular problem. So that step by step that men are great at and that logic at, that's not it. That ain't going to handle this. And her body has muscle memory. So all that trauma and all that stuff, her talking it out ain't going to get that out of her body. That's why she still has PMS. That's why she still has all that dis-ease is because it's trapped. She's got to get rid of that. You want a
You're
lighter
right.
woman who flows and moves?
Nah,
She got to
nah,
get
nah.
rid of that. She got
You
to do
right.
it. And you're right.
You
It
know
is
what
her
it is?
problem. You're right.
You right. You 100% right. And the problem is that she ain't got no goddamn friends. Because if I can't get it out of her, then she ain't got no damn women friends, and that's her problem. She need to figure out how to get some friends. Okay, that's her problem. Because if she ain't listening
No,
to
it ain't
me
the
and I
friends.
can't talk her through the problems, she needs a friend.
It's not the friends, because the friends could be a continuous thing of the problem. She need to get
Through
with
that, I
LaShonda
get that,
and get
cuz
some damn
I
healing.
get it.
Respectfully, you feel me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We go to commercial right quick, but we'll be right back with these messages after these messages.
Peace to my flight family. First time flyers, what up, what up? I know everybody has a story, a question, conversation they've been avoiding. If you know them, send them over here. This is the place where real talk happens. If you got something to say, someone you need to say it to, or a truth, or you finally needed land, I want you on the show, man. Apply here. Or you already know what to do. Comment ready to land. Somebody'll get back to you. Land your plane. Where truth takes off and transparency.
You lied to me. You promised me that you would never ever switch sides on me. Honestly, I respect modesty, and I might have to take it as comedy. Always quality, no quantity. Cut your sleeve, I don't want no apologies, cause it don't mean nothing without honesty. Honestly, you try to be, it wasn't that, I ain't not fighting me. All I really want is vibes and peace and fire to ride with me, there's no I in team. I am who I say I am the anomaly. Cockily, rejected your drama league. Constantly, you asking me if I could leave, and damn the streets or the sheets. I know she a freak, I'm call her baby E.T. I wanna stay, but I gotta leave. I wanna stay, but I gotta leave. You lied to me. You promised me that
back. Welcome back. This part of this segment is I'm gonna play some videos and I want y'all reactions. And I'm gonna got a couple of questions for y'all. And if y'all got any questions for each other, you know what to do. Just respect the speaker and ask them. I'm gonna play the first one. Pay attention, and then we're gonna come back to y'all. Y'all ready? Y'all all right out there?
We're good.
I say y'all all right?
Yes, we're
We're
good.
good.
We all right. We all right. Let's go.
Jess, we have a little word out here, please. It's all right, darling, go on. How long do you reckon I'm going to give you before you actually tell the truth and tell everybody what's going on?
Are you threatening me?
I'll give you to the speeches to own up. I'll make sure that I do it for you. I'll ruin it for you, mate.
She warned her time and time again to come clean. And now, she's going to face the consequences of staying silent.
Hi guys, thank you all for coming to our special day today. As you know, we can't have children, but that's okay. We have 2 lovely dogs. It's perfect.
She's about to reveal the truth she's been burying for months, and the fallout is about to be explosive.
This lying little... And I gave you time. This lying... You can't have a baby. Just so happens she miracled one from 5 years ago. I told you to tell him before the speeches start, or I'd do it. 100% right, yeah. You told him you couldn't have children because you knew he couldn't. You knew if he thought you could have children, he wouldn't marry you because of the guilt that he would feel not being able to give you a child. And you have a child. Deny it. Do you or do you not have a child?
You let me speak before you start shouting in my face.
Really? Oh, and now you've got the opportunity. Don't tell me to sit down, you. Do you know what? Go on, off you go. Take the chair. Give an explanation to everybody here as to how you have lied to my son all the way through.
Just tell me.
There is a child from a previous relationship that I have nothing to do with.
Absolutely. I told you I sabotaged everything you did. Get out of my face! You get out of my face!
Unless she has a very good explanation, this wedding might end in divorce.
But why are you here still?
Because I didn't get a chance to speak to you properly.
We've had years to talk about this.
When we got together, I didn't say anything because I thought that it would mean that you would want to be with me. But I'm not in this child's line. It's not like I'm secretly seeing this other family. It's not. I have literally nothing to do with them.
You kept a secret from me. You have another family. You have a child.
I don't have another family.
Sorry, taxi for Jess.
Are you still here?
What the f*** are you doing still here?
We're trying to have a conversation.
I gave her the opportunity, baby, to tell you to him.
Just ruined his wedding, so I don't know how you can
Do you
sit
know
there
what? This is the
and pretend you're mother of
funniest.
the year.
I ruined it. The girl who said she couldn't have babies, had a baby. Do you know what, darling? At the end of the day, I did not ruin the wedding. I should have probably told you earlier, but I know you... Shut up! I know that you love her, and I swear to God, I really, honestly believe that she would tell you the truth. But she's just a liar.
You didn't even give me the chance.
You know what?
I gave you every chance. Don't blame me. You could have told him weeks and weeks and months and months ago.
Do this, just...
Well done, well done, darling. You did it. You wrecked it.
I wrecked it.
Off you.
You just wrecked it.
Try.
About to unpack. Did y'all?
Hell no, it ain't a lot to unpack, nigga. This shit is simple as fuck. You got me fucked up. Shit, lot to unpack, nigga. Yeah, all right. You tell that motherfucking brute to sit the fuck down with her fucking old ass English ass hairdo. She listen. At the end of the day, I understand moms want to protect their sons and daughters or whatever the case is, and I'm a father also, but reality is this: we guide them and teach them to know what is good and what's not good. That little tramp is simple. She had kids. It is what it is. He love her. He have a choice to stay with her or not stay with her. And she had an opportunity to actually be honest, but shit, I mean,
Excuse me.
Does it really matter? I mean, did she cheat on him? I mean, she ain't cheat on the motherfucker, so honestly, let them get married.
Yeah, I think the kid is way before that. The only thing she just let him know.
So what?
All right, let's see how some other people feel. Lashonda, how you feel? Your thoughts on the video?
Nope, nope. I ain't marrying you. I'm done. I'm
No,
done. You
man.
lied about a kid? Like, mm-mm. I think they were together for years and she didn't say anything? Like, I'm done. That's my reaction. I'm done. I don't think there's a lot to unpack either. You lied about something really major, and obviously it was major for him because he couldn't have kids, and then you're gonna lie about it? Oh yeah, we ain't get married. It's good. I'm done.
Reese, what's your thoughts? How you feel?
That's just a big toxic bubble right there. um, I think that she shouldn't have said anything because that's not her place to say anything. And as a parent myself, I do want to protect my son as well and my daughter. Um, so I don't know how, if I was put in a situation like that, I don't know how I would respond. But I definitely would not wait till the day that they're getting married to say something because you had ample time to figure that shit out before the day they're walking down the aisle. But also, I'm a firm believer in sometimes you got to let them go through what they're going to go through. I know in my relationships, it has not been perfect. I have lied, they've lied. It's, but you got a whole kid. That's something that's eventually probably going to come out at some point in time that needs to be upfront about, like, hey, listen, I got a kid, I'm not involved with their life, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But then in the back of my mind, I'm sitting there thinking, like, is she only not involved in the kid's life because of him and him not being able to have kids? So, like, there's other questions that keep going, but that's your business. You do what you got to do. Personally, my thing is, if you can lie about something as big as that, then you can lie about bigger things. And I just don't want to be part of it.
No, that's my whole point. I might have said it the wrong way. Honestly, it's his path, and reality is that the mom should have just mind her motherfucking business, and took that fucking wig off her head. Because reality is that it's his path. It's his path. You know what I
It's an
mean?
English hat.
Yeah, he has a choice to be with her or not. Let that be in private. But she had enough time, like you said, to actually say something, which she should have really said something. You know what I mean? But because she didn't, it's like it's a lesson that he gotta learn. Obviously, he can't see who the fuck she is. So how you gonna know a real person? And he don't even know he got a real person that's not a real person in front of him. It's a lesson that he still needs to learn. And because the mom is sad and by herself and ugly, she just decided, hey, we'll both be together and not have nobody. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
It's
it's not
very
her. It's not her place. It's not her place. It's his path. He has to. It's another lesson that he has to learn, and he doesn't need Mrs. Doubtfire jumping in the fucking way of fucking what's going on. You know?
Raina, how you feel? What's
Cause
your
are you
thoughts?
okay today? I just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
You
okay.
can hear everybody? You good?
That okay for me. Um, oh, for me, I think I agree with Reese that that was like too much. I feel like as a parent, there are times and places for you to do something like that. Um, I think that that was not the time, and that was definitely not the place. Um, I wouldn't. For me, I have a son, and if his wife, if I knew something about his wife or his fiance prior to, that could possibly damage their relationship or something like that, I probably wouldn't say anything because that's just not my place. At the end of the day, as human beings, as people, we have a responsibility to disclose this information to the person that we're with. If we choose to not disclose that information, then at that point when it comes to, because like the saying, everything in the dark always comes to light. So at the end of the day, even if I don't say anything now, eventually it will come to light and she will have to explain herself. That's not my confession to be had. It's just not for me. That's not my place. That's not my problem. And it's true just as it is. That is not my problem. It's not.
I like you. I like you a
And I'll land
lot.
on that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I like you. You know what I mean? You smart.
Respectfully, respectfully.
Oh, can I add to the
Uh,
parent piece?
go ahead. Jump up.
As a parent, I'm telling my son. I'm not telling. I'm telling my son. I'm not telling at the wedding, but I'm telling my son. You're as sick as your secrets. I'm telling my son. If I know it, I'm telling it because otherwise there's going to be this thing of, Ma, why didn't you tell me? You know, we have this thing in our family with our children and everything. No, we share things. We don't keep secrets like that. Um, because that's a big one. That because if someone kept that secret from me, I would feel some kind of way about that person that you knew this and you didn't tell me. I would kind of feel some kind of way. So I'm telling my kids. I'm definitely telling my kids. Not at the wedding though. I'm gonna tell them way before then. I think that's crazy. That's just drama. But I'm definitely telling. I'll land.
Respectfully. Jem, what's your thoughts? You hear us? Are you good? You dirt?
I think that mother, while I respect what LaShonda's saying as far as telling your kid, I feel like it's a time and place for everything. And I feel like if you didn't tell them before that, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't tell them before when they got engaged, that's when you should have said you got to say. And other than that, hold your tongue. I'm not going to embarrass him. I'm not going to embarrass the situation. Fuck it. Also, something that is an issue. I think that from the outside looking in, a lot of things seem more like issues than they may even actually be. Really, truthfully, because if she's saying she's not even involved with that kid to some extent, if he don't know, I get what you don't like. You talked about earlier, people liking to be hurt, and I feel like what you don't know don't hurt you. So if you're looking to be hurt, that shit is awkward. Like you're looking to be hurt, so you're looking to hurt him. It's like that's his wife now. Fuck it. He don't know about they've been together 5 years and this shit ain't never come up that she had a kid. It could be up for adoption. I don't even know how you found out about it or whatever. They could have a thing where she's like she said she's not involved with the kid. So to me, it's like at that point, I gotta just mind my business. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not my life. Like I said, if I would have told the person or think the person should be told, it's definitely before. And then now it seems like she's a drama. Like now you want to go out there after it and keep going. Bitch, you already revealed it. Now they having a conversation. What are you walking back over here for? You want drama. You obviously don't like her or for whatever reason. Maybe because you had this information in your head that you know about having this other kid, but it's like, you're not getting no grandchildren. So no, you ain't gonna have a step grandchildren. So I don't know what the fuck's the point. So like let people move. Yeah, she don't have one. She's not getting any, and she's definitely not gonna be able to be a step grandkid to that kid now.
That's what she's mad about. That's what she's mad about.
She can't get no grandkids. I don't know. It's like it just seems drama. Like to do it, to keep going after you reveal it, to not let it go, to come over there and argue. Shut up. You know what I mean? Bitch, go drink some tea and go kiss the queen feet. I don't know
That's
what the
that
fuck.
Miss Doubtfire shit. That's what I'm saying. Mind your
Yeah.
business. Mhm.
I don't
Mind your
know.
business.
Like some people love. You know what? I've been changing a lot of my words. Like I don't say I'm bored anymore. I just say I'm at peace. Because boredom is something you would almost do anything to stop, to change. You know what I mean? Because you're bored. So it's like we got to do something. When your peace is something that you can sit in, because you want that. You want peace. So I think it's obvious that she doesn't. She wants a way to stop what's happening, and it's already too late. And I'll end with that.
Respectfully, I'm gonna start with you with the question, and then I'm gonna go around the plane.
Okay.
Is the biggest problem that she has the child, or is that she hid the child from you or from him?
I
We
promise.
gotta ask her, nigga.
I mean, for me personally, I don't give a fuck enough. I don't. If you got a secret kid somewhere, that's your fucking secret kid. It ain't my secret kid. I don't give a fuck. Like, you don't expect me to pay for this motherfucker, right? I ain't got to do nothing with the kid. We've been together 5 years. To me, if I found out 5 years later that you had a secret kid from my mother exposing you, I'm mad. I guess I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Like, I already like her. That's why I married her. So it's all just, to me, he's kind of feminine too with his reaction. Like, so the fuck what? Fuck the kid. I just don't care. Fuck the kid. Fuck everything. We good. You said you don't be around that kid. All right, come suck my dick. Kind of like what Ann said.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. You feel me? That's exactly what I'm saying. Like,
That's
you
why
know what I mean?
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
I
care.
appreciate you, my brother. I know that we was on the same page.
Fuck
You
that
feel
kid.
me?
I don't care about the
Well,
kid.
yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna say fuck the
Wow.
kid. I'm just saying fuck the
You know
situation. Like,
you know the kid. That's why you don't want to say fuck the kid.
I don't know the kid. This is not a between me and you thing. It's a
I'm
thing
asking
that
a
I
question.
don't give a.
Ask your question. Ask your question.
I don't want to answer the question. The point
Are
of
you
the matter is
scared? Are you
this.
scared of the kid? Are you scared of the kid or the kid's dad?
You want smoke. You want smoke. I'm
I
not
don't
doing
want
it.
no
Okay.
smoke. If you're scared,
No,
you're
you
scared. Just say
want
it. I'm
fucking
wanting you to
no,
be honest.
nigga.
If you're scared, reveal your fear. Fuck
Delanuche.
that.
Delanuche. Let them know that we ain't on motherfucking whatchamacall, man. We ain't on HSA. Yeah, we ain't over there. All that shit. We over
Okay,
here. Land your
humor.
plane.
Humor's all right. Humor's okay. So that's
Oh,
all we
now
got.
we can do humor. Well, then I'm gonna answer the motherfucking question, nigga. I ain't scared. You know what I mean? And the point of the matter is, I don't give a fuck either. I don't give a fuck. If honestly, it's over. Mind your business. Mind your business. Period. You miserable. You're a miserable old hag. That's what it is. And you just want to be in my shit. Look, she's giving some of the best goddamn head out that I ain't had in a while. I'm not letting this go.
I married her.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I married her.
It's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late to
Respectfully, respectfully.
apologize.
Yeah.
Raina,
Too late.
Raina, is the biggest problem the child, or is that she hid the child from him?
I think she's frozen. Oh, she good.
I think the
And she
biggest
been like
problem is
that for a
that
minute.
she hid it. I mean, even it's not even the kid. It's just like that was what we were talking about earlier. Trust. Having trust in your spouse and being able to willingly be able to say, hey, I know you can't have children, but I wanted to at least let you know, hey, I have one. Even though I'm not involved, even though I did give my child up for adoption, I want you to know, because all that's in this relationship is transparency. You have to be transparent, because then in the end, like in this situation right here, she wasn't transparent with her spouse. So then the mom got involved. And now the mom has created a whole nother turmoil of problems because she did not speak up, because she did not at least say something. You have to be transparent. It doesn't matter what the situation is, even if it's embarrassing for you. It in the end will cause you to not have these problems, because it it could have gone like this. Let's just say she told him ahead of time and the mom didn't know. Boom. The mom is sitting there, thinks that she's exposing something so big and so crazy. And now her son is sitting there like, yeah, we already talked about this. We already had a conversation. I already know. And then she's looking stupid because she's like, oh my God, I thought I had some shit on her. And they already talked about this. Damn, now I look stupid. Now I look messy. But in this situation now, she doesn't look she looks messy to outsiders. But if we were at that wedding and that happened, it's like, oh my God, this is some shit right here. This is crazy. Like, so I feel like, again, you just have to be transparent. It was her not saying anything. It wasn't the child. Absolutely not. It was definitely her not saying anything. And I'll
If that
land.
was your friend, would you want to hear her side?
Um, I, you know what? If that was I give everybody the opportunity to say their piece every single time. Because for me, I would love for everybody to give me that grace. If you thought something of me, or you thought if a situation occurred and you thought something different, until you heard what I said, then now you have a completely different outlook on it now. You could have been mad at me for what you thought prior to me explaining. But now that I've explained to you, you're like, oh man, that makes a lot of sense. I kind of see why you didn't say this, or I kind of see why you did say this. It's all about communication. That's not just in relationships, that also has to do with friendships, that also has to do with family. Communication is key because things get misconstrued so much, even in text messages. I know everybody has gotten that one text message that seems like it's a little snooty, and you're like, damn, what the fuck did I do to you? Until you explain, like, yo, are you good? Like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, it was nothing like that. I meant it like this. Then you sit back and you're like, oh, okay. Well, at least I said something so they know, like, I took it the wrong way, so that they could explain themselves. Give people the opportunity to explain. That's the best thing I could say.
Respectful. Lashonda, is the biggest problem the child or that he hid the child?
It's that it's that she hid the child, and that she lied about it, because she said she couldn't have children. So it's not even the fact that, yes, you lied about having a child, but you also lied about that you can't have children. So you didn't even have to go that far into the lie. You could have just not said you didn't, that you could have said, I don't have any kids. But then the fact that you said, oh, I can't have kids, you took that lie even a step further. So that's the problem. You lied, and then, but lie of omission by not saying you had the kid. And then you added fuel to the fire by saying, oh, you can't have kids, because nobody made her say that. Like, you took this lie now to another level by saying you can't have kids. So that's to me, the biggest problem is you added like two lies in there that you didn't have to. So that's the big problem, is that you didn't tell me about the past, but then you lied and said you can't have kids. Yeah, you took that too far. You took that somewhere else. I'll land with that.
Respectfully, Reese Moolah, is the biggest problem the kid or that she hid the kid?
I think the biggest problem is that she hid the kid. Because if you were upfront from the beginning about it, then you would have gave him that choice whether he was going to accept that or not. And I mean, I don't know their whole. He might have been cool with it. I don't know. He could have been like, you know what, I can't have kids. Like, maybe we can adopt kids, maybe whatever. But you kind of took that choice away from him. But mom needs to just know her place in the whole situation and let them do what they're gonna do and figure it out from there.
Respectfully, I got another question for you. Why might a woman hide the fact that she already had a child?
Without knowing the backstory behind it, there could be multiple things. It could be a resentment child. It could be, somebody, maybe she had a child when she was really young and gave it up for adoption so it could have a better life. And that's a sore subject for her, or a bad thing in her time in her life, or whatever the scenario may be. Women do crazy things. And I just feel like maybe there's more to it. Because obviously, him not knowing about the child, that was way before they got together. So something might have occurred why she doesn't have that child. And maybe she don't, maybe brings up bad memories. It could be a lot of different things. Like, I'm a young parent. I had my daughter when I was 17, and I don't know, at that point in my life, I wasn't ready to be a parent, but I chose to continue on my journey and be a parent. So maybe she did give it up because she was young. Like, maybe the kid was sick, maybe he had a disability. Like, there's multiple things that could have occurred. Maybe she's ashamed of having a kid. I don't know what the scenario is. Maybe there was bad blood between mom and dad, whatever. So there's multiple reasons that women will lie about having a child.
Respectfully, Shonda, I want to hear your opinion on that. What's your take on that? Why might a woman hide the fact that she has a child?
She hasn't healed. I agree with everything Reese said, and then she hasn't healed. You're carrying around this wound, this thing that's like a secret, and you not sharing it because you haven't healed, especially in an intimate relationship. I'm not saying you share it with the world or whatever, that's your business, that part. But an intimate relationship where you guys had a conversation about having children, you know, you've had opportunity to discuss that, and you not sharing it is because you didn't heal something, because somewhere in there it was okay for you not to be honest. And you probably do that in a bunch of areas in your life. You know, what we tend to do in one area, we a lot of times do in other areas. So it may be how she moves and how she operates. You know, I don't think she's healed. It's like Chef Tone said earlier, you know, if you're not healed, you shouldn't necessarily jump into another relationship, you know, and keep going. Cause that's a major thing for you to have a baby and you not to own it, talk about it, whatever, whatever. That's a huge thing. That's not like something small.
For real.
So, yeah, I think she's just wounded. I'll land with that.
Respectfully, Rain, I want to get your take on it, and then we're gonna go to the next video. Why might a woman hide the fact that she got a child?
Um, I think that she she could have she could have been embarrassed. It might not have been the time for her. Like for me, and only my close family know this, but before me and my husband got married, I got pregnant. And I was like, oh, absolutely not. Right before my wedding, I think not. I don't think so. And I'm sorry, but that baby had to go. I don't mean no harm to nobody, but that baby had to go. And for me, that I don't speak about that because that was not something I was proud of. That was not a time in my life that I thought that I would, be having a child. That was not a good point for me. So I feel like in that sense, it could have been from embarrassment. It could have been that it just was not the right time. It could have been a number of things. And I feel like everybody deserves grace, regardless of what the situation was. Everybody deserves grace, no matter what.
Respectfully. Appreciate you sharing that. Let's go to the second video, and then I'm gonna come back with y'all thoughts. Let me see which one is it. All right, we did the wedding. All right, let's do this one.
Are you single or married?
Kind of single.
Kind of single?
Yes.
What does that mean?
I recently broke up with someone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, why?
Because like a few months ago, it was our anniversary. After 1 year, he took me for dinner. It was a nice restaurant, but he just paid for the dinner around like 2,000.
Wait, so let me see if I understand. You broke up with this man after being with him for a year. 1 year. Because he took you to a restaurant and only paid $2,000?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he get you anything?
Yeah, I just normal gift around like approximately price was like 5,000.
So a $5,000 gift, $2,000 dinner.
Yeah,
that wasn't enough?
No, we have been for 1 year together. I expected more. You know, I'm a woman.
What did you get him?
Me.
See, this is what these dudes be talking about because you're terrible. That's horrible.
I'm not.
Yep. I want to go first. Shit. Goddamn right, I want to go first.
Yeah,
You
Chef,
got
so
me.
jump out, pop out.
Man, listen.
All right, just to make it a little bit easier, I'm gonna go with you and your thoughts, and let me know when you're ready for the question. I got the question for you.
Nah, hell no. Give me the question. Let me get the question because I got my thoughts, but I don't want. Go ahead, give me the question. I want to do both at the same time. Go ahead.
All right, got you. Respectfully. Question is, what's one thing you think every man should know about his partner by anniversary number 1?
Her worth. 100% her worth. Her worth is everything to me. You know what I mean? Because that's gonna set the tone where we're at. He didn't calculate that hole the right way. His problem was he thought he had a winner. She ain't even a winner. Like really, physically, mentally, looking at her, she's not even a winner. So for her to feel like she was obligated so much, she's looking in the mirror the wrong way, maybe backwards. or whatever the case is. Every woman deserves to be treated like a queen. Don't get me twisted. You feel me? But when you feel like you're obligated to these things after a certain amount of time, yeah, you should have wrote your rules down before we got together, sweetheart. Yeah, you should have wrote that shit the fuck down, because I didn't open up that book. I didn't even know that this $7,000, 7,000. Listen to me. If I spend 7 G's on you for a day, whew, boy, ain't much to talk about. You, first of all, you ain't going nowhere. Second of all, you doing whatever I ask. Because respectfully, I respect you enough that I pay 7 G's, and you respect me enough to just open your ears and listen. These are the things I would like to do, babe. Because you want a $5,000 purse and a $2,000 lunch. Yeah, I don't got it like that. So I'm speaking on a person that ain't got it like that, that could and don't mind spending on a woman. But come on, man, you raising the bar too high. What's he supposed to spend? 4 G's on the next dinner? 10,000 on a purse? You got me fucked up. Who the fuck is you? It's your fucking raggedy ass. Like, he should have got rid of her quick. First of all, what he should have did, I'm gonna tell you what he should have did. He should have made some money off of her. No disrespect to the respectable women out there. You know what I mean? Because I know there's a lot of them out there, but then there's a lot of them Cheesecake Factory women out there too that just can't accept it. This is just not enough. That's entirely too fucking much money to be spending on a woman that's ungrateful. First of all, it's entirely too goddamn money to spend on a woman, period, at one goddamn shot. I don't even know why she, listen, 10 G's. She gonna take this nigga to the courts for fucking child support, motherfucking alimony, everything. Yeah, he with the wrong one. She could have broke up with me in her motherfucking sleep, nigga. Wrote me a note, sent me anything. I'd have listened, gladly left. She was hurting my motherfucking pockets, nigga. I gotta go.
Respectfully.
She was draining me. I gotta get out. I gotta get away from her. I'm barely surviving rent right now, nigga. I'm over here. I gotta give you 7 G's. 7 G's for man, you crazy. Boy, that's comical. That's comical. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody should throw a pie at her ass.
LaShonda, what's one thing every man should know about his partner? Well, it don't even got to be a man. Just what's one thing a partner should know? Every partner should know about by anniversary 1.
That's a good question. Year 1 is so new. Year 1 is new. Like that's so that's just so new. Like you don't know much.
The anniversary.
It is, but you don't know much. You don't know much. And if you just started dating with someone, you might see them a couple times a week, maybe depending on work schedules or whatever. So, you might not have spent all weekend with them or long time with them after a year. I think you should have a sense of what they like and what they don't like after a year. I think you should have that kind of sense about them. Like for example, the fact that she wanted the $7,000 dinner, the event or whatever, or more than $7,000 event, he should have known that before a year. Like somewhere in there should have been some indication that she expected a lot, you to throw a lot of money at her. Somewhere in their dating, that might have shown it. I believe it would have shown its head or whatever the case is. Because in a year's time, her birthday came. So what did you do for the birthday kind of thing? Something, Christmas, whatever, if they're in the United States, whatever. But something would have shown their head, she would have shown her cards a little bit after a year. So I think having a sense of who the person is and, depending on, I don't know, how wealthy she is or how wealthy her partner is. If they're multimillionaires, you know, or billionaires or whatever, $7,000 really isn't a lot of money. It's relative to your bank account. It's relative to the money that you make. So if they're multimillionaires, multi-billionaires, and let's say for the birthday, he spent 20, 30,000, but the anniversary, he only spent 10, she might feel some kind of way about that. She might be like, well, what are you saying? I'm not worth it. Now we've been together a longer period of time. I don't know those dynamics. I mean, if she's just out there for money, then that's another story. Her last comment was off the chain and I think utterly ridiculous. And the fact that she's with somebody for a year, if that, I'm one of those people, I don't do hands off like your business is your business. If you're in my family, you're in my family. Right. So if you're my kids, you're my kids. If you're my kid's spouse, you're my family. And so for me, my son would have already known, nah, I don't even think she should make it the year. Like she ain't the one. If all you think you need to bring to the table is you, that's it. What do you have? Like you're not the one. And I would have told my son that a long time ago. Like you probably shouldn't have made it this to a year. Like let's talk about this. Let's dialogue about this. What are you seeing in her? Because if all you think you have to do is sit there and look pretty, nah, nah, that ain't it. Or all you have to do is Chef Tone said is suck my dick. Get a cheap hoe for that, real talk. Like that would have been cheaper than taking her out to dinner. Like you could have somebody on your calendar and it probably would have cost you less money than that $7,000 and that other money she took you for. And they're a professional, so they're going to get it right and do it well because they want the next appointment booked and they want their cash from you. So you wouldn't even have to deal with the drama of what she's feeling and how she's feeling in the relationship with her. So it would have been worth it just to pay for a hooker than it would have been to deal with her. Like, yeah, nah, nah. I just think you need to know who the person is. And I think sometimes we stay longer than we need to because we're as my as my wife says, you're dating potential, not who they really are. Oh, they have the potential to be this good person. They have the potential to be. But in the meantime, in between time, she's draining your bank account. Because the potential may never show up. And you can't date potential today. That's the thing. If there's other stuff, that's fine. But if it's something like this, and maybe the pockets aren't as big, and she's asking you to spend over $10,000 or more every event, no, you should have left her a long time.
Real quick, LaShawn. I just want to just for it in my defense. Yeah, I'm not looking for a cheap hoe to suck my dick. I'm just talking about the woman that's with me is to suck my dick. I just want to put that out there. I'm not saying, hey, any random chick. I'm good on that. I don't need that. I don't need no diseases. I don't need no bumps. I'm just talking about the woman that I'm with. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm not random. I'm just putting it out there for maybe someone, another one might hear this and they need to know if they needed a clue on how to actually make everything work. Sometimes it's just better to just get to it. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. No, I was just saying, like, if it was my son, I would tell him it would be cheaper to hire a professional than to be in a relationship with someone that expects you to spend 10, 20,000 every time you go out with them. That's what I was saying. I wasn't talking about you.
When you hire a professional, which I haven't done, because of there is no so yeah, it might be good. You know what I'm saying? The food might be good or whatever, but it's not the same as somebody who's cooking for you, who has that skill of cooking, who may not be a professional. You get what I'm saying? When it's a job, it's a job, even if it's a blow job. So the person, yeah, they working, but it loses a lot of other stuff there too. You know what I mean? And at least when I attempted to think, maybe I'm gonna pay for some pussy, it always never worked because it makes you feel less of to me, it makes me feel less of a person because I gotta pay you to do something I could get somebody to do for free. The market's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like it took me a long time to even get my hair paid to get my hair done because I was used to getting it done for free. So it's like when you paying for stuff that you can get for free, it always makes it awkward. And it definitely is a different experience, you know, than when
Yeah,
you
but it's not but yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'm not talking about relationship stuff because that relationship sounds like it might have some issues.
yeah. No, I
But
get you though. I
that's
get
what
you.
I'm talking about. Like if your relationship's got some real issues where she's basing your love off of a dollar amount, then I think your relationship might have some issues.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're 100% right about that. And that's the point that I was trying to make where, and you know what? You can't even blame her. Let's just be honest. You really can't even blame her for if he pays $7,000, she's expecting 14 next week. You feel me? That's his fault. You set the bar how you wanted to set the bar and make it seem like you got it. So because you got it, she needed. You know what I mean? Don't play with her. But this is the problem I have. And once again, I just want to, circle back to this. What is she doing for $7,000?
She wanted out. That's what I see. I mean, that's what I realized. I
Yeah,
think that
listen,
I think when somebody wants
you're
out of
right.
something, they'll use any excuse besides the fact they want out. Because I think he could have spent $20,000 and it wouldn't have been enough. To me, she wanted out. So that's the excuse she's going to use instead of saying I'm a hoe who likes to get gangbanged and I want to be, I want to do that. She's not going to say that. She's going to say he didn't do enough. But when some like that's the reality of the world we live in, where people are so dishonest with themselves. Maybe she don't even know that they're dishonest with you and themselves in such a way that it creates these conflicts that they don't even know where the conflict is coming from. But I feel like I have a joke where I was talking about, I said, I'm gonna be single because my girl keep going through my phone. You know what I mean? I was like, when somebody wants to be with you, they don't do that. They don't look for nothing to leave. They're looking for stuff to stay. And I think that's the same thing. I think it was a joke, but it was some truth in it in the sense of when people want to be with you, they're looking for something to stay. Because that's why the reason for her leaving, it might not even make like $7,000 on a dinner. That's not even the whole night. We could have did more. Like if I have $7,000 to spend to get you a $2,000 gift and a $5,000 dinner, that means I don't think
Oh,
we
no,
about to
it's
be homeless.
opposite. It's reversed. It's the fact of the matter is entirely too goddamn much money. And the question that I hold and I want to know what city, country they're from, and what did she do for $7,000? I
He
need
has
to
it.
know.
He has it. That's the. And when you have it, it doesn't like when I haven't had a lot of money in my life. I've had good amounts of money, thank my higher power. But when I've had it, I got Reese so many damn purses. It's ridiculous. She don't even use all the purses she got. You know
Take
what I'm
them
saying?
back.
And like
I use my damn purses.
there's purses you don't use. She has like 80 purses. She doesn't for 80. She's not using 80 purses. There's no way.
I change my purse every day.
In 80 days in a row, you do that?
I might certain purses I only wear like you have bought me little clutches. I only
Don't shake
wear
your
those.
head.
I only use my little clutches when I go out. That's not an everyday bag. You're not a
Okay.
woman, so you don't understand that part of it.
Do you want any more purses?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. So it's like,
But I ain't gonna leave if you bought me a $2,000 dinner and a $2,000 purse. I ain't gonna walk out the door.
She just wanted out. She wanted out. She wanted
I
a
think
way
that's
out.
what LaShonda was saying. It's a woman thing. You won't understand about that purse
No, I
thing.
don't.
That's her thing.
Yeah,
purses, like different size purses and different types of purses have different purposes. And so if I have a little tiny clutch, that's a going out bag. An everyday bag is a tote. Okay. Like there's different things.
How many totes do you have?
Majority of my purses are totes. I have a handful of purses that are going out purses. I would say probably
over 30 totes. You have over 30 totes?
Yeah, no. I would say I probably have right around 25 to 30.
So if you have 30, that means you're wearing one every day to work. Every day you switching it up, right?
Well, I match my purse with my outfit. And you know that I match my sneakers with my purse and my outfit.
Okay.
So certain work clothes, they don't go with my purses. Because again, I work in an office in a business setting that have to be business.
I get it. Now I get you. I'm just saying that you can spend when you got money, you spend it.
So go for that lady. Don't come at me.
That's what I'm trying to say. When you got money, you spend it stupidly. Like that's what I'm just trying to say. So he had that money, and it didn't mean nothing. He's not broke. I don't think he's going to be homeless after spending that money. So a $2,000 dinner, a $5,000 whatever, $5,000 dinner, $2,000 gift. It only means something if you don't have it. I'm not even making a joke. If you have money,
I respect that. I respect that.
If you got $1 million in the bank, that 7,000 is a joke for the experience.
That is fucking bullshit. Every goddamn dime, I don't give a fuck how much money I got. I'm always going to think it through. I'm sorry. For
not if you got
7G, she's not, Dirt, we done had it. Like, I'm not trying to hear that dumb shit that you're talking.
We ain't have enough. You don't have enough.
Listen.
It's the more you have.
You listen. Nigga, you done brought her 90 purses. She just told you that she's only wearing 10 of them.
No, that's not what I said.
Well, I know something like that. About 20.
So you didn't
I'm sorry.
listen. What I said was different purses go for different occasions. So if I'm not going to excuse me, if I'm not going to a 5-star restaurant every night, there's a purse that I use for that 5-star restaurant. And if you really want to get on it, ask him how much fucking sneakers I bought him that he ran to the ground and gave to other people.
Okay. Nah, don't do that. We ain't doing that.
Yeah, whoa.
This ain't about us.
So you want to come at my purses? Let's go after those sneakers and that clothes and everything else.
Reese, you act like you don't know me. You act like you don't know me. You know I'm just fucking around. Like,
and you know I'm coming back with the fire too.
Let me answer it. If you're talking
I didn't even get to say what I wanted to say.
Let me say one thing real quick.
All right, well, go ahead.
If you're talking about sneakers I ran down, what does that mean? I used them.
Okay.
So
wait,
pause. I ain't finished talking.
You have given sneakers away that I have purchased for you. They were still in good condition.
They were worn down. You just said I ran them down.
No, I said certain sneakers.
You switching your story up. You switching your story.
You have given clothes away that I bought you. You have given hats away that I bought you. My son got a hat in his room right now that I bought you.
It was ran down.
No, it wasn't. It was just not your style at that moment.
Hey, if the man said it was ran down, it was ran down.
I'm looking at the hat. You want me to go get it so you can see if it's ran down? It was just that he
we don't need the evidence.
We believe him. We believe him. Yeah, that's it. We believe him. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I need.
I got you, brother. You know what I mean? You know, they try this stuff on us all the time.
No, the hat that I just bought that's in the mail being delivered. Let's see if he gives that to my son too. That Versace robe that's hanging up downstairs with his name custom on it. Let's see what you do with that. Oh wait, there's a hat that I bought you, so you want to put it on? Oh wait, hold on. Here's the book bag you bought me that I use every day for work.
Y'all got a lot of money. Y'all got a lot of money over there. There's a lot of money going on over there. I feel like y'all fucking with us. Like there's a lot of money being thrown over there. You know, we got hats, we got nice purse. Listen, let me get a hat.
I'm a firm believer in if I want to purchase something for somebody, I'm gonna
give me one of the rundowns.
I'll send you one.
I don't look at how much money I have spent. That's not something I do. If somebody likes something, especially if he sent a hat to me the other day, I said, okay, got you. To me, I don't look at the value of it. I'm not looking at how much money I've spent on you, how many hats I bought. I don't look at that stuff. You're my partner. If you want something and I have the finances to do that, I do it. Respectfully.
So is it a gift at that point that I could do whatever I want and give it away if I feel like it?
I mean, he does whatever the hell he wants. I don't tell him he can't give it away. But don't come at my purses that I don't wear every single day when you do a lot worse than I do. My purses are all still hanging up. They're still in their cases. All my sneakers are in their shoe boxes.
Yeah, that sounds all right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Whatever. Whatever.
Yeah,
Respectful.
you
Good
gotta
top
say
of the
it
hour,
whatever.
man.
Like you gotta get with it. Like you gotta say it the right way, whatever.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
hey,
Not
add that little
everybody
Italian
can.
accento on there.
You
Uh,
taking a
I
you
do
taking a
got one
break?
more. I do got one more for y'all to break down. Let's go to a quick
Is it
commercial
about a
and
purse?
then huh?
I was just checking to see if it was about a purse. That's all.
Oh no.
Is
But
it about a
it's something that can go in your
is it
purse though.
about a
Definitely.
person?
Oh, perfect. I might got that too.
Hello, everyone. Can I ask you a question? Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, who was I before the pain, before the rejection, before life told me who I had to become? I'm Dolores Jordan, author of Before You Were Wounded, Recovering the Person God Created You to Be. This book introduces the 12 Tribes Identity System, a faith-based journey designed to help you discover your God-given gifts, understand how your wounds affected your identity, and reconnect with your kingdom calling. But before you purchase the book, I want you to discover your tribe. Scan this QR code and take the free 12 Tribes assessment. It takes approximately 12 to 15 minutes, and your results will reveal your primary tribe. After receiving your results, tap Go Deeper to learn more and download the book and companion workbook. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by your purpose. It's time to rise, represent, and reign. Scan the code and begin your journey to
Shorty on a whole different time than I am. She want me to be her man, but she don't understand this. Get fucked up my brain. Shorty on a whole different time than I am. She want me to be her man, but she don't understand this. Get fucked up my brain. Shorty on a whole different wavelength. I don't even wanna say shit, but I gotta keep it real. I ain't never been the one for no fake shit. Since I'm a star, making that gon' take concession. She don't understand, I need space if I'm tryna pull up in a spaceship. See, when you're worldwide, you don't always have time to be by girl's side. And seeing other girls like my stuff that could mess with girl pride. Can't be star on social media if I'm not so sure about what I want and I need. I've been vocal, I ain't tryna provoke you, but we're not on the same time if you're local. And I'm global, I got motion, so can't answer my mobile. Shorty on a whole different time than I am. She want me to be a man, but she don't understand this. Get fucked up my brain. Shorty on a whole different time than I am. She want me to be a man, but she don't understand this. Get fucked up my brain. Shorty on a whole different.
Welcome back. Patronize all my patrons. Shout out to you in the comment section, man. Appreciate you, man. These questions go for you too, man. You got questions for us on the panel, for the ladies, for the fellas, let me know. Ask away, man. You can answer these questions too. Excuse me. I got one more video for y'all. Y'all all right out there?
Yeah.
We're good.
I say, is y'all all right?
Yep, we're good.
All right, let's get it. Last video. We're gonna land this thing.
Scott was served with the protection order the day he was released, being told not to go anywhere near his wife. But only 45 minutes after he was released, Scott went straight to the apartment they shared on the 3800 block of Wisconsin Avenue. At 7:45 p.m., Scott entered the home and proceeded to violently assault his wife, only to leave her lying unconscious inside the home, covered in blood afterwards. A little less than 4 hours later, a friend came over to check on Marcia, finding the home unlocked. She came in to find her friend unconscious on the floor with obvious injuries all over her. Seeing the blood coming from her head, she realized how bad the situation truly was. Marcia had a broken eye socket, several broken ribs, and was covered in bruises all over her entire body. That friend rushed Marcia out to the hospital, where she remained in an unconscious state. Police were there by 11 p.m., noting that the woman had been beaten nearly to death. Marcia remained in a coma for days. During this period, her daughter started a GoFundMe page, hoping to gather some funds to pay for future treatment that her mother was most certainly going to need, writing, "My mother, Marsha Johnson, has suffered a traumatic, life-threatening event from the result of domestic abuse. She is in a comatose state and fighting for her life. I hate to ask, but me and my sister need the help of family and friends and anyone whom is able to help her." However, despite high hopes for some sort of recovery, Marsha passed away 5 days later. It was noted that she had died from blunt force trauma. Marsha Johnson's death almost immediately brought attention to the Bail Project and similar groups that post bail for defendants who can't pay themselves.
Welcome back. If you are familiar with that case, anybody, you at home, and if you're watching this back on a replay, that was Samuel Lee Scott. He got arrested for domestic violence. Project Bail is a nonprofit charity that helps people that, can't afford bail. They help them out. And I think 45 minutes after they helped him out, released him, he went and murdered his wife. Just to give you a little context and whatever on that. Y'all didn't hear it, or for you at home. We gonna start with Jim not talking. We'll start with Reese. I want to know your thoughts and let me know when you're ready for the question.
I think it's sad in the aspect of that an organization helped him out to get him out, and I think that maybe he already had a motive that he wanted to do something if he was originally locked up for domestic violence from the beginning. Because maybe his first goal the first time was he wanted to take her off the map. I think that he didn't get the rehabilitation that jails and prisons are supposed to do, which is rehabilitate people so that they can go into society and be normal members of society. So obviously he probably needed some rehabilitation that he did not receive.
Respectful question is, if somebody gets released and commits another crime, should the organization that helped face some consequences?
No. I don't think them as an organization was trying to help him out, thinking that maybe he was in a better place and was going to abide by the rules that were given to him. They didn't do anything wrong. They helped him. And that's just that part of the world that we live in, is that being our prison systems don't offer what they should be offering, and providing the rehabilitation to people before they're released. That's what happens. Like 90% of the time people reoffend because they haven't been able to, for whatever reason, depending on what their charges are, they haven't, especially when it comes to like domestic violence and stuff, there's a lot of classes and stuff that people may need to take. And some people are just legitimately crazy. They could take 1,000 classes. So to me, it's like you're gambling when you're helping somebody like that. It's not at any fault of their own. It's more, I would say, a government fault for not providing rehabilitation services to people while they're locked up. And the jail system is a very thing that needs a lot of work. What it's designed to do, I don't necessarily think that it actually does. So I don't think that they're at fault or should be any type of responsibility for his actions.
Respectfully, I will give them that. Upon posting the bail, they said that the order of protection was posted, I guess, when they posted the bail, so they wasn't aware of it, of that. You feel me? That he had an order of protection or whatever.
So that's even more of a reason why they wouldn't be liable if they didn't even know that he had an order of protection. So in their minds, they're helping him out, get out of bail. He couldn't afford it. He was less fortunate. People do make mistakes in life. So you can make that mistake.
It helps them, but then if they would have did all the research, then they would have found out that he was in jail for.
But I
or
also think that that's the
problem.
jail's responsibility that if an organization is helping you out, that's your responsibility as the jail who's overseeing that person at that time. That's your responsibility to ensure that they have all of that information. But again, there's rules and
Prosecutors.
regulations put in place, but um, I don't think that they have to go deep dive in trying to figure stuff out. It should be readily available to them. Like, hey, this is a murderer. Like, he had 25 to life, whatever. Or this is a child rapist, or this is whatever. This is what is in place. That's your responsibility as that person that's putting that in place to provide that information.
Respectfully. LaShonda, what's your thoughts? And let me know when you're ready for the question.
What's the name of the Bail Project? I'm sorry. That was the
I think it's called Bail Project.
Bail Project? Okay, that's the name. Okay. I need that. I think it's a sad story. I kind of agree with everything Reese said, but I think it's just a sad story, and you can't predict human behavior at all. So I really feel for that family, everybody's family, the abuser's family, because they might not have raised them that way, and he might have done it, and now they got to deal with that too. And I feel for the families because that's a hard one. What's the question?
Question is, if somebody gets released and commits another crime, should the organization?
Yeah. No, I'm laughing because I'm like, no, my organization would be in trouble. No, you're not responsible for people's behavior. You cannot predict who's gonna come out and do something wrong and who's gonna who's gonna follow the right path. You just don't know, what the person's gonna do, what if enough is enough and they've changed their ways or they haven't changed their ways. I think outside people don't know. I don't know if the jail knew anything or any inclination or cared, but it's hard for someone on the outside. I run an agency and I talk to people in the jail all the time. And I have no idea, in some sense, let me say that because I do know more than most, but in some sense, I don't really know the full story of things because, like we said, the jail does not give me all the information on the people. Every now and then, I'll get somebody's full record and know sort of what's on paper about the person. That doesn't mean that's the full picture of that person either. But at least if they give me the paper, I have something to start the conversation with. But there are other times where there's other facilities that don't give me any information. So I go off of my conversation with that person and hope that what they're telling me is the truth, and that they're sincere in what they say. Because like we talked about earlier, a couple of people said it about giving somebody grace. At times you do want to give somebody grace for their situation because there could have been extenuating circumstances, not in this case, but I'm just saying extenuating circumstances about stuff. I think abuse is very tricky because it just comes from trauma and trauma and trauma because he could have been traumatized, all this stuff, his family lineage. I don't know anything about that. He could have had a mental diagnosis. I don't know any of that kind of stuff, but it's just pain. That's really just what the scenario is all about, is pain. But I think pointing the finger at the nonprofit agency who helps people is the easy way out. Because I agree with Reese, the jail does not do the rehabilitation, at all really. And they are a $1 billion industry and a $1 billion business. And they don't put the money into the people in there. And some of them don't even care what happens to them when they come out, because if they come back, they get paid. So there's no sweat off their back if they keep coming back. It's a moneymaker for them. So they don't necessarily have incentive to help people out and to make sure that they don't return, kind of thing. So but blaming the nonprofit who didn't get all the information and probably is running on a small staff and people not getting paid well and all this other stuff, I don't think is the answer at all. So I'll land with that.
Respectful. Shout out to you at home, man. You in the comment section. I appreciate that love. Like, share, comment. Make sure you subscribe. Tuned in. Did Dirk.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Or you want to go straight to the question?
Thoughts on the topic?
Yes, sir.
I mean, he was light skinned, right? The nigga that got bailed out.
Melanated.
He was melanated.
Yes, sir.
Damn. I was
It
hoping
was
that he was light.
I was hoping he was light. I don't know if they showed. Yeah, no, they did show a picture.
I was hoping the nigga was light skinned so that way I could be like, see, shouldn't have bailed him out anyway. I mean, to me, it's like, out of all the people you're gonna bail out, a nigga with a domestic violence charge is kind of awkward. I get you, but you can look niggas up. We live in the future. That's the best part. Like you can look niggas up. I'm not bailing. If I have an organization, I'm not bailing domestic people out. You know, and I get people. And I was in for some bullshit one time, kind of fake, because this girl broke my phone and I broke her phone after she broke my phone, and they even said she even told them like the truth. I broke his phone first, and they still locked me up. So it's like some bullshit. But to me, it's like I feel like I don't think you. I think it's other people at the jail you can help. That's the only person who had a case you felt where he needed to get out. Jails are not going to never help anybody be rehabilitated because jails are a holding place for people that are still not guilty. So they don't know, they can't even start the rehabilitation because who am I rehabilitating? An innocent person? Look at that nigga Khalif Broder that was in jail for the years until he unalived himself. Look at him. He was innocent. He was in jail for 3 years. So it's like a jail is not but that. It's for you to sit. It's literally saying, I don't think that is the county or state or city saying, I don't think this person is going to go to court to prove their innocence. But it's not a proof of guilt or innocence. It's not. We are confused by that. It's just saying they got charged with something, and we don't think that they're willing to risk being proved guilty or innocent, which when we know how the court system works, that a person not being willing to risk being proved innocent or guilty doesn't even really mean they're innocent or guilty. It just feels like they got everything against them that the system is going to say they're guilty. Not because they actually are or not, because we know people have been found incorrectly guilty. So, I mean, to me, I just feel like they could have chose somebody else. That's domestic. I'm not getting involved in that. And do I think they should take responsibility? I think was the question that was asked. No, yeah. I don't think they should. Maybe they can pay for the funeral. I don't think they should get shut down. You know what I mean? They can pay for the funeral. You know, that's the more financial responsibility, possibly. You know, help the kids out. This kid's still alive. Shit like that. Other than that, now they should. You know, that's you can't bring them back. The one somebody dead, you can't bring them back to life. So I think that's the thing. Like I said, help the kids as much as possible and pay for the funeral. That's the most responsibility I could put on the people that bailed them out. And I'll land with that.
Respectfully, do y'all got any questions for each other?
Mm-hmm.
Anything? Anybody? Jim, you got a question for us? I know you ain't get to talk much, but
I don't even think they should have to pay for a funeral or to bail out.
I didn't ask you a question.
What question?
What the organization should do. Yeah, I asked you that.
I don't think that they necessarily should be responsible to do that. I think that if they chose to do that, that's a different thing. Because again, they're not responsible for her actual unaliving.
I'm not saying I'm saying that if I'm a donator, let's say I donate money to that charity, or whatever, that foundation, if they didn't pay for the funeral, I probably wouldn't want to donate to them next year again. You know what I mean? I found enough. So that would keep. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think they have to pay for the funeral. Like, they should go to court. It'd be a civil matter. But to me, it'd be something to show, like, hey, is admitting some fuck up. We fucked up.
Yeah, but they didn't fuck up.
Donate some money to the funeral. Donate. You don't have to pay the whole thing. Donate something.
That was a good idea. Well, shit, if we don't got nothing for each other, I want to thank y'all. I want to thank y'all. You already know, for flying out with me tonight. You at home, you as well, if you made it this far. And if you're a first-time flyer, rewind to the beginning. You heard what I said, man. Subscribe. Right, family, you already know, man. You know how we do. I appreciate you flying out with us all the way at my panel. We're going to go to the last commercial, man, and we're going to close this thing out. Y'all all right?
We're good.
Hood service announcement warning: the following content is for entertainment purposes only. It contains real talk, raw humor, and unfiltered commentary. If you can't take a joke, this might not be for you.
HSA, 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 HSA. It's the hood service announcement. We got news on the way. HSA, HSA, HSA. It's the hood service announcement. We got news on the way. It's the hood service announcement. We got news on the way. What you gonna hear is the news of the day. And we keep it real. We don't got no time to play. We just tell you what it is and we do it with no delay. Talking rent through, lights through, food on the plate. Talking little bro, sliding, trying to dodge that case. Talking auntie in the back, trying to keep her faith. All facts right now, not a second late. HSA, 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 HSA. It's the hood service announcement. We got news on the way. Announcement, we got news on the way.
Yeah, man. That's my guy, HSA. Tap in. We'll be here tomorrow. Or will we? What's going on with the...
We probably won't be live, but we probably going. I'm just thinking we can maybe film around like 6 or something.
Okay, cool. We're going to keep y'all tuned in, but you already know every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we lit HSA.
If not, I'll have Reese just hosted. I'll have Reese hosted tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We tap in. Flight family, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Love is love. Light. You already all the time. Close this thing on out. Everybody has a past, but marriage isn't just about who you were yesterday. It's about whether the person standing next to you can trust who you are today. You don't need a mansion, a ring, or a baby by the first anniversary, but you should have something more valuable, a clearer understanding of who you're building with, whether you are actually building together. And bail isn't just about money. It's about freedom, fairness, public safety, and trust in the justice system. And whether we can build a system that knows how to give out and how to do it responsibly. That was the goal for today, man. So you already know, protect your peace. We will see you next week. And thank you for flying with us on Land Your Plane podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your destination. Please remain seated until you have properly processed. Keep your mind clear until next time.
Land your plane, land your plane, land your plane.